I'll let you guys in on a secret. The actual hardest part about being a full-time Forex trader is fighting off all the honeys trying to get your baby. All these girls trying to get pregnant from your seed because they want that power behind your mind. They want the potential in your soul. They want the money in your pocket. Let's go. I'm going to show you how I made $7,500 the day before Halloween, and then went out and blew a lot of it that weekend. So first of all, guys, this is just a screenshot of the 75 real account, 7,500. You can see it's a little bit blurry, but there's a few trades there. It's basically just based around the euro and the Aussie. It's on the 30th of October, all in one day. I just took a screenshot there because it's a little bit easier. When I actually go back and I select the actual day of the 30th, it's actually showing me a higher number. So I think it's because an extra trade came in or something like that for the next day. But that's not the actual number for that day of trading. So we'll just show you the 7,500 that was made, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just kind of taken a screenshot of the account here. This euro trade, it was actually a long-term running one, so I'm not going to count that, and it brings our balance a little bit higher. And the same with this Aussie short. It was just a different Aussie short, a very small one, so we're not going to look at that one. But we'll look at the NZD JPY, and we'll look at the Aussie pair, because basically these two trades alone were able to bring us up to like $7,500. So the Aussie trade, when we first look at it here, we can see that if you look at the actual entries, you can kind of match them up. If you pause the video here, I've put them onto the video or the chart there already. Okay, so we saw that there was a demand zone here that was touched one time, and we thought it might go a little bit deeper in that demand zone because there'd probably be more resting orders going into it. Now, so after we saw this level be hit and not be quite hit again, we thought it was going to come back down and really fill some more orders. And then once we saw it rallying off of here, we figured that there'd be a liquidity behind these two areas, right? A lot of stops behind those two areas. So when it come back down again and it touched it perfectly, we knew that once it came around again, it would be hunting for that liquidity, right? So we rallied off of that level, just barely past it, right? And then when we came into the session of that day, we saw, what did we see? We saw a very small little wick here. It's very hard to see, but I was looking at the 5 minute. Now, if you go down to the 1 minute, which we'll do here, you can see how the price action is really respecting everything that we're really looking for on the higher time frame. We're creating a range going into the New York session, and then we see a sweep of all that liquidity of the range and then a strong rally off of that. All I've done is I waited for a pullback right to, it was kind of an arbitrary point here, but that was the exact entry that I had put up on the chart there. And we got pretty much a good entry. What I did is I basically said I wanted this order block, but then I front run it a little bit just because I was a little bit nervous because it was a 1 minute and this is a very strong candle breaking out. Now, in terms of targeting, we had two targets here. We basically had this area where there's going to be stops behind there because there's multiple highs, right? So we targeted right on that first one. That was our first take profit, and we got about 2.5 R on there. And then our second take profit was these highs right here because that was the 1 hour supply block right here. So that was the 1 hour supply block. We did actually end up dumping completely hard off of that. So we got a perfect exit basically. Not absolutely perfect, but pretty much perfect. Right, so looking at the next trade here, NZD JPY, what we saw here was a sweep of all of these highs here, very strong move above this level, and then a break back down. Now, we don't expect this to be able to rally back up very high because of the momentum shift so strong, and we completely broke back below these levels right here that brought us to those highs, right? So all we expected after we saw a breakdown here was we wanted to enter in on the retest, and that's what we did. We entered in on the retest of that supply zone, and then we just looked for those equal lows once again, targeting that, and that's when we got out. And it might have gone down a little bit more, but it was just a small, quick 1.5 R trade, and that was a good trade for us, and that really put us into a massive profit for that week. The one last trade that I didn't really want to count, but it did get applied to, I was looking back at the number there, it did get applied to that 7,500. I think it was those 3 trades that totaled at 7,500. It was that that extra Aussie trade that didn't count. And what we see here is a supply zone being completely made here that was not tested right on the higher time frame. Now, after we saw little sweeps above that area, we knew that this was a liquidity hunt. And this was a little bit while ago, and I can't honestly remember if we've entered on the breakdown of seeing the sweeps above or on this retest. But either way would have worked for you guys. So you could have had the exact same entry on either side here, either seeing the sweeps there and then entering immediately after it starts breaking down. And you can obviously tell that that was just a stop hunt behind that level after you see the complete momentum shift here. And you would have been able to re-enter on this entry, on the quick retest there, or after you see this massive drawdown here, you would have gotten an extra chance here. And I can't honestly remember because this was running for over a week. So I don't know if you really want to count this too much towards that profit, but we did close it on that day, and we just let it run down to these two multiple lows there because obviously there was going to be a liquidity hunt here, and it did keep going lower, but that's not too important for us because we got an amazing trade. Now in terms of stop, you would have placed on this retest here, you would have placed your stop at those highs, and also it would have been at those highs too if you had entered here. So it would have actually been a massive, incredible trade here if you went this way. So I don't really want to count this trade too much into that value, but that is what we made on that day. So this is 7,500 for that day. But this was more of a long-term swing trade, and you're able to get these really precise entries and then just know biasly that it's going to be coming back down, and we're not really going to be following and taking profit along the way. You could have taken a few profits along the way, taken some off here, taken some off here, because these are important levels that would have been areas of possible reversal. But if you know it's going to be coming down here on the higher time frame, then that's not too important for us, because you can really see on the higher time frame the structure of the market breaking down, and we're just coming back to retest, and then you see the sweeping of those tops there. And then we knew that we were going to be coming down to these lows before rallying back up. So you see a massive rally now, and this is because all of the election and everything is going on. So we've just been stepping out of the market for the last week, and we're going to be jumping back in the market next week for some trades, because I didn't really want to trade the election here. Guys, really quick video there for you. Hopefully that really helps you understand a little bit more of how I'm trading, and you guys can learn how to trade the same way if you want to join the Discord in the link in the description below, or you can message me on Instagram if you want any mentoring, things like this. Ask me how you can get that. This was actually an exceptional day. Don't normally trade like this, but I will show you some exceptional days when I do hit them, because they do feel really good to get, what was this, like 6R in a day, something like that. So that's absolutely unbelievable. I'm very proud of myself. And that's basically enough to keep you going over an entire month. If you're able to get 6R in a month, you're going to be making mad money over a long time. So you just need those little bits of those good trades, and a lot of the rest of the time trading, guys, is just kind of preserving your capital, and then you're just looking for these big winner days, and then those bigger winner days really add value to your account, and that's really how I go about trading. I'm just really trying not to lose my money as much as possible, and then waiting for those big bangers, and then you go out and you spend that money on some stuff. I'm sure you guys saw in that previous video. We had quite a good time. So I'll see you guys next time.